Right, so selecting the right school or even just the right instructor, if you're familiar with them or they have, you have friends that have gone and gotten their certificates and stuff like that. I think that is an extremely important thing because when you're switching schools, then you are starting over from scratch, right? Because when you go to that new instructor, they don't know what has been covered and what hasn't been covered. They don't know your level of knowledge because you haven't gotten a certificate yet saying that you are a private pilot. So it is very important to find the right school that's going to meet the needs that you're going for, right? Whether it is one of those fast track programs where you're trying to do a career change or you're taking your time and getting your private instrument, maybe commercial, and moving forward. And then the time commitment on top of that. It is a lot of time, but I am a proponent of downtime, right? There is all of this effort that you're putting into it. Say you're doing ground sims and flights every day for 2 weeks. More than likely, you're not retaining as much information as you should if you're doing like a ground and a sim one day, then you got a flight next day, and then you actually have a day just to study. Even though you're not actively thinking about things, your subconscious is still gonna try to figure things out for you, right? So as long as you're putting that effort in to get your subconscious to start problem solving for you, that downtime is gonna be it's like beneficial downtime, or it's gonna come back to you. So for the accelerated program, like I did, it was a full-time job. I'm also a husband and I have 2 kids, right? So my priorities were different than other students that I was studying with, right? To where I might have had things that I had to do that night or that day for my kids or for my wife. So it definitely, that goes into the research of the school that you're looking for. Are they gonna require you to be there all day, every day, or do you have the freedom to take care of things that you need to outside of school, which can relate to the amount of training you're gonna do, right? Are you going that fast track? Are you trying to get it done in a shortest amount of time, or are you doing this as you go? Because if you're trying to get it in that short amount of time, you might have to put some things on the back burners and really focus on the task at hand, right? If you're gonna set that challenge for you, you kind of have to commit yourself to that. If you don't, or if you kind of halfway commit to it, either then you're not gonna achieve the goal that you're trying to get to, or you will achieve it, right? So I guess that's kind of how it goes, right? So my real approach for teaching, it's really, I kind of take it personal, right? To where I'm instructing to that individual person, right? Everybody is gonna have their own way of learning. Either they can hear it once and they can remember it. Maybe they have to read it 10 times and they remember it, right? So understanding how a student learns is probably the most important factor in how you're gonna instruct that student. On the other hand, getting to know that student too, right? What are their hobbies? What are they into? That can help relate maybe some theoretical concept that has to do with aviation into like a real world thing. You have a positive and negative transfer of knowledge to where certain things we do on the road kind of can relate to aviation, right? But then there's certain things we do on the road that don't relate at all to aviation. So there's things that you can relate both positive and negative through understanding that person's like day-to-day life, their experience, where they've come from, where are they going? Maybe they were a mechanic before, so systems are gonna get really easy. You have someone that's younger and has never really had a job or had to work like that, but maybe have somebody younger that doesn't have as much experience looking at the mechanical side. They're really good at reading and understanding regulations. It just all depends on that. For me, it all depends on that person and how they are, and that's the approach that I'm gonna take going into it.